Hi, I'm Benjamin Morgan, the Chief Executive of the Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association of Australia. And today I wanted to just share some information which was broken today, from the team at Australian Flying Magazine. And that is that the Civil Aviation Safety Authority have now suspended their Aviation Community survey. Those of you that follow AOPA Australia, our members and industry supporters right around Australia, you would remember that several weeks ago we published news that the Civil Aviation Safety Authority had distributed a survey to selected participants across the aviation industry, claiming to be seeking frank and honest opinions from the aviation community with respect to their interactions with CASA. Now, those emails that were distributed to those select recipients were shared with AOPA Australia and a number of other organisations. And when we investigated those emails, we found that unless you were the original intended recipient, you actually were unable to participate. And so whilst the email from CASA claimed that they were seeking opinions and views, frank and honest opinions and views from the aviation community, that wasn't actually the case. They were seeking the responses from those that had been selected. Now, I put a fairly strong opinion piece out to the industry on this, and I put the argument forward that CASA appears to only be interested in the answers they want, not the answers that they need. In response to that, we published for our members and for the broader aviation community a link which enabled anybody who interacts with CASA from across the aviation community to participate in that survey. And I'm incredibly disappointed to report that the Civil Aviation Safety Authority today have announced that they have suspended that survey, arguing that AOPA has interfered in the survey, which is utterly absurd. People from across the aviation industry, many people from across the aviation industry had sent through emails and messages to AOPA confirming that they had participated in this survey and that they had provided an honest appraisal of how they saw CASA in their responses. And it appears that CASA just doesn't want to hear it. They do not want to hear the views and opinions from the very people that they were arguing that they were interested in hearing it from. It's an absurd situation. I'd like to read for you the article that's been published by Australian Flying, and I do shout out to Steve Hitchens, who's the editor of Aus Flying, who did contact me today for some comments on this. If you haven't got a subscription to Australian Flying, jump online to their website, www.australianflying.com.au, and grab yourself a subscription. It starts by saying CASA survey suspended, claiming interference. It's almost a joke. CASA today have suspended their 2020 customer satisfaction survey after AOPA posted a direct link to the survey company last week. CASA sent a one-time link to 6,600 participants only, but AOPA Australia last week provided the aviation industry with a direct link to survey company Faster Horses that would allow anyone to provide their input. After all, why wouldn't we? CASA wants the opinions of the aviation community. At least that's what they were communicating on their email. It turns out that they're actually maybe after something different. According to CASA CEO and Director of Aviation Safety, Mr. Shane Carmody, AOPA's actions compromised the survey by allowing more than the selected 6,600 to participate. Quote, one aviation association has been promoting a manipulated link to the online survey, effectively destroying the sampling methodology behind the research, he said. Reluctantly, we've been forced to put the survey on hold because we can no longer be confident the survey will accurately and fairly represent the views of all sectors of the aviation community. I apologise to anyone who has already legitimately completed the survey for the disruption of this process, and I can assure them their views will still be heard. According to CASA, the suspension was done on the advice of Faster Horses. In posting the link, AOPA CEO Ben Morgan accused CASA of deliberately selecting a narrow band of participants to get the results they wanted. And in that posting, the direct link, AOPA sought to enable everyone to give their views. This is a quote from me. CASA has clearly only sent this survey to a narrow band of recipients. I have some very strong views on why CASA would be looking to block a broader participation in this survey, mainly because they just don't want to hear what many people across this industry have got to say. A case of seeking to survey for answers that they want, not the answers that they need. AOPA made it clear that the link they posted was provided by neither the survey company nor CASA, but enabled people outside of the selected 6,600 to participate as well. Morgan told Australian Flying that it was not AOPA's intent to stop the survey and slammed CASA for what it says is further proof that CASA is shying away from genuine feedback. Like that's in dispute. CASA's actions confirm the long-held view of the industry, which is that CASA does not genuinely want to hear genuine feedback. I think for them to have suspended the survey in the manner they have, it confirms this position loud and clear. I think it's very sad that CASA is incapable of accepting that the views of the industry differ greatly from their own, and that they want to exist in an echo chamber. I believe we're going to see just more of the same from CASA with this kind of thinking and these kinds of actions. They have to start recognizing that the only way they will address their problems is to start listening to the feedback of the industry and to stop discrediting the feedback of the industry where they do, and allowing that feedback to guide them. Morgan also stated that AOPA's action in distributing the link was not intended to have stopped the survey. He felt that CASA should still proceed. There is absolutely no reason as to why this survey cannot go ahead. CASA put the survey out stating they wanted open and frank feedback from those they interact with. I know for a fact that we've got people who have been interacting with CASA AvMed for the past 6, 12 and 18 months that have incredible experiences in dealing with CASA. They're wanting to provide feedback. You've got people who've dealt with all manner of activities inside of CASA who want to provide further feedback. This is an industry that wants to help CASA. It wants to help CASA solve its problems. And yet here we go again, another example of CASA playing games. This was a political charm offensive launched by CASA. And I think that's all we really need to read because it makes it pretty damn clear. Now, CASA's criticisms of AOPA for releasing the survey link so that the industry could participate, I don't think really are founded. Let's look at the facts. The facts are CASA distributed a survey email to the industry that said that they were seeking the opinions, frank and honest opinions from the aviation community. Let me be clear. The survey email from CASA nowhere stated that the recipients were a selected list. It did not stipulate on that email survey that the broader industry could not participate. So again, more smoke, more mirrors, and more games from CASA. And we've seen this before. This is not new. This is just another iteration of a long-standing list of activities from this regulator that seeks to play games in misrepresenting the reality of the situation around it. Now, there'll be those inside of CASA that'll be watching this, frothing and thinking, how dare this person speak such truth? But there it is. CASA, no one in this industry wants to be at war with you. We want to help you, but you have to first be able to listen to those around you if you are to actually begin to improve. And it appears that you're not wanting to do that. Now, I've been called before the Senate Rural Regional Affairs Transport Committee on Friday of next week to make a statement and to take questions, providing evidence to that inquiry with respect to the cultures inside of general aviation and the role of CASA. I will be bringing this issue up. This is a repeat of the last customer satisfaction survey, which was just a sham. Everybody knew it was a sham. The results were a sham. And so it's disgraceful that it's going on again. CASA, you had an opportunity. The opportunity that was handed to you was an opportunity for you to be seen by the aviation industry as embracing the opinions of the aviation community and seeking to understand how you can improve. And you failed, and you failed abysmally. To suspend the survey was an act of stupidity, make no mistake. And ultimately, I think that it just lays bare for everybody your intentions all along, which was clearly to seek the answers you wanted, but not the answers that you need. That's all from me today. I hope everyone has a very safe weekend of flying across the aviation industry. We have some fantastic events across the country that are coming up. I'll be travelling out to the Wagga City Aero Club shortly to participate in their open day, which happens a little bit later in November. As I've already said, I'll be down in Canberra representing our members in the industry at the Senate Rural Regional Affairs Transport Committee inquiry into general aviation. We are doing some great work out at Orange Airport at the moment in trying to work with council to resolve some leasing disputes. We're also gearing up to be involved in a range of discussions down at Merimbula regarding fees and charges and some silliness down there that we hope will resolve quite soon. Again, I'm going to put the call out to everybody. You have an amazing association that's fighting for you as an aviation industry. We're fighting to overturn the stupidity that goes on inside of CASA almost weekly. We're fighting to overturn the nonsense that goes on at airports that's damaging our industry. Show your support for your industry. Join AOPA Australia today. Get behind us. Help put the fuel in our tanks to see to it that we can complete the mission. So thank you very much, everyone. Have a great weekend, and we'll be back to you again shortly.